Greetings of the day. I'm Megha Gupta, Assistant Professor in Babu Banarsi Das University. Today I'll be taking a lecture on classifications of marriage in Muslim law. Under this, we'll be dealing with four major types of marriage, that is Sahih marriage, Batil marriage, Fasid marriage and Muta marriage. Alright, so what is Sahih marriage? It is the most common kind of marriage in Muslim law. It is considered valid and lawful and is in accordance with the principles of Islam. In Sahih marriage, the parties enter into a permanent and stable union with the intention of living together as husband and wife for the rest of their lives. It's based on mutual consent and they're free to negotiate and agree upon the terms and conditions of marriage. A Sahih marriage has certain characteristics. For instance, it's permanent and stable and it is supposed to last for the rest of the parties' lives. It is based on mutual consent and there must be free and voluntary consent. And the marriage must be conducted in accordance with the principles of Islam, including presence of witnesses, payment of meher, and recital of certain formulae. There are certain legal requirements for a Sahih marriage. First of all, there must be a proposal made by one party which must be accepted by the other party. The marriage must take place in front of witnesses. Under Sunni law, 2 males or 1 male and 2 females who are sane and adult and Muslim are required. Under Shia law, the presence of witnesses is not essential at the time of the marriage. Next, the proposal and acceptance must take place in the same meeting. The parties should be capable of marriage. They should be of sound mind and at the age of puberty minimum. According to Hadya, the age of puberty for girls is 9 years and for boys it's 12 years. The parties must be capable of giving free consent or the consent must be given by a guardian on their behalf. And they should be free from any legal disability. After all these legal requirements are fulfilled, the marriage is valid and it gives rise to certain mutual duties and obligations that the husband and wife must fulfill. Sexual intercourse becomes lawful and children born out of such marriages and relationships are considered legitimate. The parties become entitled to inherit each other's property and the wife is entitled to meher and is obligated to observe iddat in case of dissolution of marriage or death of the husband. Next is Batil marriage, which is called a void marriage. It fails because it fails to meet the necessary conditions of a valid marriage. Marriages which are between parties who are closely related by blood or which are prohibited by reasons of affinity or fosterage or marriage with a woman during her iddat period or marriage with a fifth wife, they're all Batil marriage. This marriage is void and it does not confer any legal obligations or rights on the parties. The wife is not entitled to meher or maintenance and any children born out of the marriage are considered illegitimate and have no right to inherit the property. The parties are not required to follow legal divorce procedures and can simply separate and marry someone else without any legal formalities. Next, we have Fasid marriages, which are irregular marriages. These marriages are considered invalid because they do not completely fulfill the required prerequisites. However, they can be converted into valid marriages by removing those irregularities. This is recognized only under Sunni law and Shia law does not recognize this. Under Sunni law, a marriage without witnesses, a marriage with a fifth wife, a marriage with a woman during her iddat period is considered Fasid. If a marriage is irregular and has been consummated, the wife is entitled to meher and must undergo iddat under Islamic law. The next type of marriage is Muta marriage. It is a temporary kind of marriage and it is prevalent in Shia law and not recognized by the Sunni Muslims. This kind of Muslim marriage is a fixed term marriage contract that specifies the length of the marriage, which can range from a few hours to several years. The marriage is automatically dissolved when the term of the contract expires without the need for a formal divorce. The significance of this Muta marriage is that it provides a way for individuals to engage in a temporary marital relationship without violating the Islamic law. For there to be a valid Muta marriage, there must be free consent, there must be offer and acceptance, there must be meher and there must be witnesses. Now these marriages are characterized by being fixed term. There is no automatic right of inheritance by the children born out of these marriages and there is no automatic custody of the children. This practice is extremely controversial and has been criticized by a lot of scholars and human rights groups because of its morality and the concept of decency in Islam, the exploitation of women especially those in need of financial support, and the legal status of the marriage. With this, we end the topic. Thank you for joining us.